As you can see, I'm surrounded by green. Well, I'm not surrounded by green, but we are sponsored by the good people at Wash and Go today. The lovely people at Wash and Go. What I'm on about, good people. And people often say to me, Mark, is it not hard being a Wash and Go ambassador? And I always have to reply to them like this. Being a rocket engineer is hard. Just ask Elon Musk. Being Manchester United manager is hard. Just ask the 4 managers that have taken over since Sir Alex Ferguson. Being an NHS worker, that's hard. Heroes. That is really hard. But being a shampoo ambassador is as easy as taking a bath. It really is. So next time you're having a really hard day, just run a bath, light some candles, put on some relaxing music and lather up with Wash and Go. Classic Wash and Go. You can pick up your bottle at any good retailer or by hitting the link in the description and getting it delivered straight to your door. Thanks very much to Wash and Go for supporting the United Stand. Now let's move on with the show. And remember, Wash and Go, it's invisible. It's invisible. United Stand, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been sacked as Manchester United manager. And I know some people will obviously react with great happiness and joy and sue and it's over and get out. But you know what? This is where class kicks in for me. Look, the happiness is that it's over. That's where I'm very happy. The thing I have a problem with this, and I have got no problem with Solskjaer being sacked, but the place I have a problem with this is how the board have acted again and how Solskjaer will be sacked and everything will go back to happy now because we've got a new manager, but actually we've still got the Glazers and Ed Woodward in charge. And this, I'm becoming quite a video amongst all the hype of, Ollie's been sacked and all this lot, because we sacked Van Gaal, we sacked Mourinho, and now we've sacked Ole, and yet the same chief executive is still in charge. The same owners are still in charge. And I think that's really important because, you know what? We will all get on a buzz of hype and positivity now because Ole's gone. But the reality is, whatever you think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he wasn't good enough. But one of the attractions with him is that he did get what United was all about. He just couldn't transform it into the way that we played. But he was a United person. And that, you know, Ed Woodward isn't and the Glazers aren't, and they're the people making the decisions, and that's what's wrong with Manchester United. And I think we're all agreed with that we will now all get swept up in the wave of optimism because it's a change. It's like a new Christmas present, but the people handing them out are still the people that are incompetent, and I think that's really important. But ultimately, let's bring it back to Solskjaer. And also, look, you know, people are saying it's not confirmed. Well, let me just... This is Fabrizio Romano. Like, there are other people doing it. Duncan Castles has done it from The Times. There's a few people who've said it in the last 20 minutes. But the reason we're going live, really, is because, one, I've had a couple of messages myself confirming it, as I'm sure lots of other people have. But look, Fabrizio Romano has just said 14 minutes ago, Manchester United have decided to fire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after 5-hour internal talks confirmed. Mutual agreement to part ways now considered. Once just waiting the final sign-off by Joel Glazer, and it will be confirmed and announced by Manchester United. It's done. He's sacked. Like, it's known he's sacked. And to be honest with you, I think, again, this is a failing. I can imagine quite rightly this is something I would agree with Gary Neville. And I want to talk about Ole and his time and you know, where United go from here in a pragmatic way. I think, you know, now is not the time for, you know, too high emotion, because I think this is an admission of failure, which the club need to, you know, understand. When you sack a manager, it's a failure, especially what they've told us for 3 years about a 3-year journey, a long-term plan. But where I would agree with something I'm sure Gary Neville will say, because it's pretty much his sort of thing, is that the way this has been handled yet again, I remember it with Van Gaal. You know, he won an FA Cup, he didn't know he was getting sacked, everyone else did. Mourinho went in the morning, didn't know he was getting sacked, the world did. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, look, he knows he's going to get sacked, but the fact that the club have not announced it before the media... This is not a transfer. This is not Sancho, here we go. This is not, you know, Ronaldo, here we go. And yet Fabrizio Romano is announcing to the world and other journalists that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is getting the sack. And again, this is Manchester United Football Club leaking like a bloody sieve. Embarrassing. Like, I don't care if it's Moyes, Mourinho, Van Gaal or Ole. They all deserve a level of respect from this football club in relation to how they are sacked. And it's sacked by social media again, because the club are incompetent. But look, you know, it was time after the Europa League final. Sad day, only fitting. You are my Solskjaer, my Ole Solskjaer, says Lillerager. Sad to see him go, but it had to be done. And I even that VK boss. Scared, rumour has it, Carrick and Fletcher until the end, says Summerjit. And okay, Mark, have I missed something, or have they hired a new manager? I'm settled yet. It could be Ed Woodward as an interim. Right, Akil, right, the rumours are that Manchester United are going to put Darren Fletcher as the interim with Michael Carrick as his assistant. I mean, this to me is Manchester United all over. Now, if this is for the Villarreal game, fine. If this is for beyond the Villarreal game, what's the point? Like, I think it's really important here that United fans don't swallow the Glazer bullshit, basically. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is gone, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the reason Manchester United are where we are. Like, he was part of a management team. When he was appointed after Mourinho, he came in as a management team. They gave him Carrick McKenna, who had worked under Mourinho, and then they brought Phelan in for a bit of experience. And they've worked collectively for 3 years. The reason we've been going on about it for 2 years is Ollie should get some better coaches. And the reason he wouldn't is because it's a management team. He can't get rid of Carrick and McKenna without losing his job himself. So why is Ollie going and coaches are staying? We are an embarrassment in the way that we play football, the way we build up from the back, the way we don't pick runners up, the way we defend set pieces, the way we attack set pieces. That's coaching. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on at least 7 occasions over the last 2 years has said, I don't do the coaching. I'm the manager. You know, I make decisions on the team, but I don't coach the team. We are badly coached, and yet we're going to give Michael Carrick a job. Like, this is Manchester United all over. They think if you sack a manager, the problems are solved. The coaching is a joke. It's absolutely embarrassing. And Michael Carrick needs to be sacked. And McKenna needs to be sacked. And Phelan needs to be sacked. And to be honest with you, Darren Fletcher's only been there 5 minutes. Don't even know why we employed him, apart from the fact that he played for the club. So, look, give him the interim job for Villarreal and get him out. You know, get a proper coach in who brings his own coaching staff in and rid us of this sentimental bullshit associating us to ex-players with this football club, because I'm tired of it. And Ollie shouldn't just take the blame. No way should Ollie just take the blame. That is a managerial team, and we should not be left with Ollie thrown under his bus and all the coaches who've been part of that mess carrying on. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. And I don't know what the long-term plan is, but look, I don't want to see Carrick and Fletcher as interim coaches for any longer than Villarreal. Because if they're going to be the coaches, we're not going to see much of a difference. And also, we must never appoint somebody who's an interim coach as a full-time manager again. I don't care how good they are. Never do it again. Zidane or Ten Hag, please. Rodgers ain't the man. I mean, I don't really care. I'd take Rodgers, but, you know, it's all down to opinions, Stuart. Mark, what's going to change? Ollie doesn't do any of the coaching, and he's always talking to the coaches. It's like changing the car, but keeping the driver. Exactly, Akil. He took us as far as we could with him. Need to either get Zidane or Ten Hag and try to save the season, says Marcus. I know you don't think so, but Ollie still can be a good manager at a smaller club. I don't really care, Addy. You know, just in relation to Solskjaer, he'll always be the scorer of one of the greatest nights of my life, certainly from a footballing point of view. Loved him as a player, and as a manager, I won't really have much to think about. I don't think he did a very good job in the end. You know, I put a lot of faith in him, like a lot of people did. But I think when you look at the legacy, and I'm happy to talk about his legacy in a few minutes, I think it's a bit of a myth. He's not a great man manager. Ask the players that he treated badly. We never played good football, really. We haven't really developed any youth. And I think the club is in a bit of a mess. I think we're heading towards a very bad summer. But the positive is, the Paul Pogbas, the Donny van der Beeks of this world, there might be a chance they stay now. Feel sorry for those excited. This is the tip of the iceberg, says Nick. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't feel excited. I've got to be honest. Krill says De Gea for captain, and I'll always explain it. Can just take time to respect the results he did against Man City, PSG, etc. He has actually given great times, but I'm glad it's over, says Kian. And Ollie dodged a bullet for Woodward. We should go for Woodward now as long as he stays, says Eakin. Look, I'm not going to lament about... I'm not going to wax lyrical, sorry, about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a coach. I don't think it worked. And I've got to put my hands up and say, look, I stuck with him for a long time. I did. So I was wrong in a certain sense. Having said that, Carrick and McKenna need to go, says Dem. I agree. Having said that, I also had my doubts. I was very unhappy after the Europa League final loss. But I sort of looked at finishing second in the league and third in the league and thought that he deserved this season. You know what? I have no regrets, actually. I stand by what I did. I did it with Mourinho. I felt Mourinho deserved the 3rd season, even though we finished 2nd, and a lot of people felt he should have gone. And a lot of people felt Ollie should have gone when he finished 2nd. And, you know, fair enough, you predicted it right. But for me, I think both Mourinho and Ollie deserved their 3rd season. And for me, with Mourinho, when he lost to West Ham, I was out. And when Ollie lost to Liverpool, I was out. So, look, I gave him the time. I don't regret it.